Yo, do you struggle to maintain discipline at nighttime and over the weekends? Have no fear, you'd be like a lot of people out there, but you don't want to throw away all your results over the course of that time. That is a no-go. What's up, guys? Frank Daniels here, also known as Frankie D, the coach. Today we are talking tips, keys, methods to be able to control yourself, to have a certain level of discipline in the nights, in the weekends, which gets a lot of people out there. The last thing you want to do is put all this effort into your fitness, into getting a result, and then throw it away because you lost control. Today I have 7 tips for you to be able to get a grip. Tip number 1 is to understand your why. What are the driving forces behind why you want to be in such great shape? What do you want to work so hard for, right? Like, what the heck? Why the hell you want to do that? Well, there are driving forces behind that. Maybe it's because you have health issues in your family. Maybe you're looking at your kids, you want to set a good example. You want to live a long time for your children. You want to look more attractive for your significant other. You want to get a new significant other. Whatever the heck it is, it doesn't really matter as long as it matters to you and it drives you. So those times where you are challenged, okay, the challenge will come along, you can remind yourself why it's important that you might abstain from ruining your results. Tip number 2, go into your kitchen and remove the temptations. Let's be honest, if it's not in your house, if it's not in your immediate area where you can get to it, it's probably less likely to be a problem. So the first thing you gotta do is go into your place and remove the temptation. Anything that's gonna set you off track or push you into a binge or anything like that. Those things you want to remove from your environment so you can't get your hands on them easily. That's going to make you think twice before you make a misstep. Tip number 3 is to fill up on protein and fiber. So these nutrients are super valuable for a variety of different ways, but maybe the main thing is they will keep you satiated, so they will keep you full, and more than likely you're not going to overeat when you make these nutrients a big part of your diet. Not only that, you're gonna get in great shape, but you'll be fuller so you don't eat more. Tip number 4 is to put something in your stomach before you go out and you might eat with friends. One of the big challenges for a lot of people is they live social lives, right? I'm social all the time, right? And you're gonna be out with friends and there's gonna be challenges to eat stuff, right? To eat more. And if you go out when you're hungry, more than likely your eyes get bigger than your stomach, and before you know it, you're just eating too much, right? So if you put something in your stomach, you have a small meal, drink a protein shake, something like that, before you go out, more than likely you're not gonna eat as much as you normally would if you were just freaking starving. So fill up before you go out and be social. Tip number 5 is to plan ahead. There's gonna be social events, there's gonna be challenges, there's gonna be places where you go where food is gonna be in front of you as a temptation. And if you're just gonna go crazy when you see it, we got a problem. So if you don't plan for those things, if you don't have an idea, a concept in your head, a strategy to be able to deal or handle with these things, either you brought something with you or you plan to have a cheat meal. We'll talk more about that in a minute, but you gotta have a plan, you gotta have a strategy. You just can't go into situations like this and just not know they're gonna happen if you want to stay lean, if you want to stay fit. Tip number 6 is pick your spots. So have a planned break or recovery from your diet. What does that mean? Cheat meal, cheat day, probably not as effective, but cheat meal here and there. So to play off the last tip where I talked about social events, maybe some of those social events, some, not all, are times where you plan predictably to have some foods that maybe you wouldn't normally eat, enjoy some stuff, whatever it might be, right? So certainly during the course of your week, this is a very good thing, is you're planning recovery times from diet. What does that mean? Well, when I can enjoy something I wouldn't normally have on a regular diet. That should be a regular part of what you do. You need a break, you need a recovery from that to mentally kind of dive back in and go. Now, depending on what your goals are, certainly gonna dictate that, but most people should have a little recovery point, a cheat meal, a couple cheat meals built into their week, but you have to plan them, you have to know when they're coming so you don't get off track. And tip number 7, suck it up. When it comes to dieting, when it comes to being lean, when it comes to being fit, One of the things that's gonna happen is you just need to burn more calories than you consume. What does that mean? That means there are times where you're gonna be hungry and you're gonna have to deal with that, right? So you're not always gonna get what you want, and certainly every success in any area that you can name comes with a sacrifice in another area. So you're not always gonna be able to eat what you want, and there are certainly times where you're gonna be hungry and you're just gonna have to find a way to just deal with it and not always binge or go off the deep end. So tip number 7, suck it up. It's just part of the game. Talk to anyone who has been lean, has dieted for a show, and that's what it's all about. There's times when you're hungry, you gotta deal with it. That's it, guys. 7 tips on how you can have more discipline, more self-control to be able to help you get the best out of your efforts. You don't want to throw it away over the nighttime, over the weekend. There's a reason why you're working that hard, right? I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed these tips, I've got more for you. I've got a free report called 7 Steps to Shredding. You can download that by clicking this button right here, or head down below, click the first link in the description. Guys, my name is Frank Daniels, Frankie D, the coach. I'm gonna check you guys very soon.